Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about Reno, who is going to be getting a rework and his brand new FR weapon. Not only that, but we also have Ashe, who is going to be getting her rework and her C90, and Alice's LD weapon is going to be reran on this banner. But my main focus in this video is going to be for Reno and Ashe, but I will briefly talk about Alice for any new player who may not know anything about her. But the biggest thing in this video is I am going to be really talking about Reno's FR and why I think it's actually a pretty solid FR to actually pick up, because if you do let the enemies act and attack you while Reno's FR is active, you actually benefit from that greatly, and I'll explain in details here in just a bit. So let me know what your plans are going to be for this upcoming banner for Reno's intersecting wheels. If you're going to be pulling on this banner, passing up in this banner, whatever it is that you are going to do for this upcoming banner, do let me know down in the comment section below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Ashe's rework to her skill 1, which gained 3 uses. It turns into a 6-hit Magic Brave plus an HP attack 3 times. Her skill 2 also gains 3 uses. It turns into a 5-hit Holy Magic Brave plus an HP attack 3 times. Her LD buff now starts off the quest at 9 turns, and she starts off with her HP attack Queen's Order ready to be used. Her LD turns into a 4-hit AoE Thunder Holy Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack 4 times that extends her LD buff to 9 turns. The buff now adds a 20% party except self HP damage up, and she now retains 30% brave on HP attacks. Her Queen's Order attack turns into a 6-hit melee brave plus an HP attack 3 times. With her C90, her EX turns into a 5-hit Thunder Magic Brave plus an HP attack 3 times. Her Arc Blast follow-up attack turns into a 5-hit Thunder Magic Brave plus an HP attack 3 times that inflicts paralysis to all enemies now. And then her C65 got extended to 7 turns and adds a 20% party attack up, now totaling 30%, and a 20% party brave damage cap up. Now for Reno, his skill 1 turns into a 6-hit AoE Thunder Melee Brave plus a single target HP attack 3 times. His skill 2 turns into a 6-hit Thunder Melee Brave plus an HP attack 4 times. His EX passive adds a 20% Brave damage up, now totaling 80%, and a 10% Stolen Max Brave Overflow up, now totaling 30%. His EX gains more potency. His LD now dispels 4 buffs from all targets now. His Turk's Pride buff when attacking debuff targets adds a 10% HP damage up. With Quistis as his partner, Reno's FR deals a 6-hit Thunder Melee Brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals split HP damage and inflicts the Pyramid debuff on all targets. Now his FR conditions are as follows: a 20% increase whenever the party selects a Thunder ability, a 20% increase whenever the enemy's turns ends, and a 30% increase whenever an enemy uses a melee or ranged ability. So is Reno's FR, Alice, or Ashe worth picking up in the upcoming banner? So we're going to start off with Ashe. Ashe did get a good rework in my opinion. She can definitely be used as a strong utility character, plus she is able to enchant the party with Thunder and Holy, which can also be used as an LD call ability, and that actually lasts for 6 turns, which is not bad at all. And she can actually pair up really well if you're going to be using her as a call ability with Reno, because remember, Reno's first FR condition is to deal Thunder Brave damage, so having her as an LD call ability would not be a bad idea and would not be a bad pickup for those who are going to be pulling on this banner, especially if you're going to be chasing for Reno's FR. And if you don't have a Thunder enchanter, whether it be on the team or as a call ability, then you do have an option within this banner, which is going to be Ashe's LD. The only thing about Ashe's enchantment is going to be that because she is able to enchant 2 elements at the same time, there are certain Shinryu fights where it's going to ask you to enchant the party with, let's say, like 1 out of the 2 enchantments, but because Ashe is going to be enchanting both at the same time, though, there is a strong possibility where you are still going to be dealing doo-doo damage because of the fact that she is enchanting with 2 elements. So that's one thing to note about that. So that's why when it comes to having these call abilities or characters, it is always good to try to have a variety of characters, a variety of elements as well, whether it just be 1 or 2 elements. It is always good to have a little bit of mix of both, but not all elemental lockout fights are going to be like that, or just in general, not all Shinryu fights are going to be like that. And especially if you're going to be using Reno's FR, then you want to make sure that you have a Thunder Enchanter. Again, whether it be on the team or as a call ability, then Ashe will definitely be a pretty good pickup to get. Now, if you decide that you want to pass up on it, her LD and FR and BT will return at a later date, because she has gotten her FR and a BT not that long ago, probably like roughly like 2 months ago as I'm recording this video. But yeah, her kit will be reran later down the line if you do decide to pass up on her. Now, Elise is going to be getting her force level enhancement. She already has a C90 and whatnot, and that's all she's going to be getting. Overall, she's not a bad character whatsoever. She is pretty self-sufficient. She does enchant herself and imperil with 4 different elements. And she does have a bit of a Katesev effect, where she is able to increase her brave by a certain percentage whenever she is dealing a critical brave hit per brave hit via her LD. So overall, she's not too bad of a character. She's definitely more lenient towards like the DPS side, and she does have a pretty big rotation, so she is definitely not new player friendly. So if you're wanting to learn her rotation and whatnot, you can easily like find that, like if you go on like a Reddit or something like that, then you can easily find that information. But overall, she's a pretty solid character, and with force enhancements, then she is going to be dealing some much higher HP damage. And finally, we're going to end it off with Reno. Now, Reno's FR is one of my top 10 favorite FRs, and for good reason. Because of the fact that if I do let the enemy act, and if they are hitting me with a melee or ranged ability, and if I do have counter tanks in my team comp, guess what? I am going to benefit from that 50% increase, because I am meeting 2 of those conditions, and at the same time my counter tanks are going to be slapping the enemy so many times, especially if you know that the enemy is going to be jumping into turn order, if they are going to be gaining a whole bunch of turns, if they hit you with a low turn rate debuff, making it so that, you know, they gain more turns. If they all of a sudden you see them gain speed buffs and whatnot, guess what? If you know that they are going to hit you with a melee or ranged ability, then Reno is an excellent FR to actually have when going up against those types of enemies. Now, if you're going up against an enemy that is dealing magic abilities, then Reno is definitely not the FR that you want to use. But overall, though, like Reno's FR, very solid, very good with counter tanks, like let's say Owen, Galoof, Gladio later down the line, you know, and other characters that is able to deal counter attacks or just like off-turn damage and whatnot, like Core. Whenever he gets a C90 in his rework, Core would actually be great alongside with Reno. And as long as you are Thunder Enchanted, whenever it is your actual like turn, then like, you know, you are just overall just benefiting from like everything, whether it be like on your actual turn or whenever it's on the enemy's turn. And if they are dealing melee or ranged abilities, then you are just gonna have an overall fun time. And the good thing about Reno's FR, like overall, is that he does inflict the pyramid debuff once you activate his FR. And the thing is though that like there are call abilities, and not only that, but you also have Reno's LD. You do have like what, three uses, if I'm not mistaken, for his LD that you can actually inflict the enemy with set debuff, so that way, in case that all of a sudden you meet an HP threshold where you know they're about to hit you with a nasty attack, then guess what? That pyramid debuff is going to stop them right there and there. You are going to benefit from that attack, and then you can just easily counter it with your counter tank. So like overall, in my opinion, Reno's FR, in my opinion, it really is worth picking up, especially if you don't have an issue with the enemy attacking you, and if you have strong counter tanks, then you are good to go. Like Reno's FR is very solid, one of my top 10 favorite FRs, and like you really can't go wrong with it. And again, if you don't have an issue with getting hit by the enemy, because I know there are some players from what I have seen in the community who do have that issue, which, I mean, hey, to each their own. Then, I mean, like, you know, this is definitely not the FR for you. But for those who don't have an issue with it, I would definitely say Reno's FR is definitely a very solid pickup. But other than that though, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your plans are going to be for the upcoming banner. And with that being said, take care, and I will catch you guys in the next one.